for a stretch there, tons of big plays, tons of big holes, explosive runs, a very efficient pass game. And you work real hard to get guys in the game, and the second half wasn't quite the same. So it looks like we got a ways to go with that second group. But really, if we keep that first group out there, who knows where that goes. So we got to keep building our depth, I guess, is the biggest thing. I think my takeaway from today, on both sides.
Got to be happy with the special teams.
Well, yeah, you get a block punt, and that's, we didn't get a takeaway again, but a block punt really serves that same purpose. Brennan continued to kick the ball in the end zone. I don't know that he punted real great. He had a couple opportunities that didn't probably go the way that he was intending. Return game-wise, we just got the one kickoff. I know Taco probably wants the one back that he didn't catch, but I think we had an edge there just simply with the block punt.
So you had your number one offensive line there in that last drive going in there, and then you just kind of rotated them out.
Yeah, it got to be a 17-point game, and we needed to end the game as soon as we could, I guess. And our second O-line right now, in a lot of ways, is our third O-line. But at the same time, those guys are here and they're college football players, so to get them out there and get them experience is what today was about. So at the same, we needed to finish that game.
So you got the bye next week. You anticipate some of those offensive linemen coming?
Yeah, I think so. I know Burke Mastel will be back. I think there's a strong chance JT Reed will be back. I know Justice Perkins is a little ways away, but at any rate, experience is like gold. You don't have an opportunity to. This isn't like practice. You get a chance to get out there and play in a game. Those guys, you learn what it's all about. So, I trust at some point these guys are going to have to get thrown in. And I say these guys, it's any one of those guys in that second wave. And, tonight will be hopefully something they remember.
Earlier this week, you talked about the lack of sacks so far this season. Getting home a few times a day. What do you think of defensive front?
Yeah, we. It's a mobile quarterback. I think a couple times early he broke contain, which was disappointing. But then ultimately we got to him a few times. I think when we have our top group out there on defense, and that top group of defense is a lot of D linemen. We can put all kinds of pressure on and make it really hard. And the big thing was, I remember looking at the scoreboard. They didn't have any yards rushing hardly. So when we can stop the run and make a team one-dimensional, that's when you pile up the pressure in those numbers. So, excited to get a few sacks and put them on the ground, and I think that's going to be something that we'll need as we move forward.
And rushing attack just effective today. Scott Trey and Adam again scoring a couple times.
Yeah. Big holes, the way I saw it. I think, those guys are one of the ones that get the credit, but I think there was some big holes, and I think those guys are seeing it well. Scott Trey, Adam, Jared gets in there and does some good things as well. So, I think our running back depth is significant. Another game where, I see Tommy had 5 carries, a couple big gains in there, a couple scrambles. So, we're moderating that pretty well right now.
Tucky had obviously the block punt, but then has been in there a good amount at safety. What can you kind of say about his emergence this year?
Yeah, I think that's the good word because, mid-season last year, Tucky was making a push to be a guy that as a true freshman we were going to play in some regard. Yeah, he went down. He went down like that first practice, what was week 8 or something like that, and then he missed spring ball. So I think he's a guy that we saw last fall would be in line to be doing the things he's doing, and it just has happened a little bit later. So very instinctive, very good range, good tackler, all those things. I know he went down at the end, so hopefully he's okay.
And then just the atmosphere being the first home game of the year, what did you kind of just think about everything?
No, it was electric, and I know don't take that for granted. I think our fan base is amazing, and our atmosphere is something else, and I know it. After being on the road a couple weeks, to be back home, I think it certainly charged our guys up, and I think our guys certainly fed off that energy.
When you make such big plays early, too, how much does that just boost the momentum when the crowd's just going crazy?
Yeah, I think it's contagious, right? Both sides of the ball, and God, we were scoring fast, and so fast our defensive guys had already sat down, and we got a couple of those guys on the extra point, and we couldn't get them out there. So, no, I think it was fast and furious that first quarter with the defense getting them off the field, and then us being able to score quickly. So, I think those first 5 possessions, I don't think that could have gone any better, and then. We had a couple opportunities with the 2-minute before the half too, and that was good work. I know it yielded a field goal, but that's always good work to get.
How do you balance? You're up 35-0. You have an opportunity to get some guys on the field, but you also want to make sure you close out the win. So how do you sort of balance?
Yeah, not real well tonight. I'll be honest. But at the same time, those guys those guys are a lot of people that are waiting in the wings, and game experience is so critical to their growth because sometimes it exposes you, and when you're exposed, I think you go back to work, and if you're a competitor, you want to get better, and maybe you look at practice a little bit differently, maybe you look at your film study a little bit differently, and ultimately we won't need all those 2s and 2s and 3s and those, but we'll need some of them, and if we took a few lumps tonight. That's part of the deal. It was frustrating to say the least, but that's what you need to do. You need to grow your program. You need to get guys in the game, and sometimes it goes better than it did tonight.
What did you think about Chance Wilson and Jordan?
Well, I think we'll have to look at the film. I think Chance made a few plays. I think that's my first assessment. I would have liked for him just to keep that ball and get the first down there at the end instead of throwing it downfield. I think he had the first down, but that's his first game action. Jordan, we didn't get really anything going too well with him. So to get them both out there, again, very valuable, and that backup spot, us continuing to sort that out is unfortunately for us right now an ongoing process.
New scoreboard and parking lot, some changes around the stadium, obviously the indoor being built. Did it feel any different out there, or did it kind of feel like it's been the last few years?
No, I think it just looks better around the stadium. I think just the way everything looks and feels. I think it's got a big time feel, and you see that indoor going up. That's the real deal, and I know it's moving fast. And then the scoreboard. I hope. The video and all that stuff made the fan experience that much better. I didn't like that the one on the Sunny Holland end didn't work, and we didn't have a play clock on that end, but we'll get that figured out. And, I think the sound, I'm sure, was much better for the fans, too.
Just going into a bye now, 3-0, just, initial thoughts kind of just going into this stretch?
Well, yeah, I suppose record-wise we're where we wanted to be. And I think it's the bye comes at a good time with the early start going back to the last week in July. So, hopefully we are healthier come Mercyhurst, and hopefully we can take a step forward over the next couple of weeks as we prepare for conference play. I think we got a really good conference right now, and that schedule is going to be a grind. So, a really important couple of weeks here to continue to solidify our depth and going back to the drawing board. I think maybe at some positions just after assessing that film today, I think we'll be part of it. Again, practice can look different than the game, and I think it maybe did in a couple cases. Long answer to a pretty easy question. I think we're in a good spot, but we are far from where we need to be.
Good. Coach, really quickly, can you also talk about Ryan King? He started to settle in this week.
Yeah, Ryan's coming along. I think anytime you add a guy as late as Ryan, it was July 8th. I think he showed up here. There's going to be a bit of a process just in his comfortability, and he's got playmaking ability. I think that's starting to show up, and finding ways to use his ability and mix those guys. I think we have in Ty and Junior and Taco and Ryan King a really good group of guys. We'll get Jacob Trimble back here as well, and I think we do have some some weapons, and they're all a little bit different. So Ryan's addition, while late in the game for us, I think has been good to this point.
Good. Coach, what are you going to do about it?
I'm good. Cole, I guess just first of all, if you could talk a little bit about just open up those holes up front for Adam and Scottrey and all those guys.
Yeah, it's fun. We just work on that all week. Obviously, we love running the ball. Just 5 guys up front, running hard, working together, and then our running backs just running their butts off. It's awesome.
On the first really long one, what was the play call? What worked well? What's got you?
It was outside zone left, and the cutback was just there. They backers played front side. We kind of washed it forward and then cut them out of the gaps on the backside, and it was a big hit.
You guys have had so many good running backs here over the years, but this element of speed that Scottrey and Adam both add, how much more dangerous does that make you guys?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, we have just so many good running backs that can just run really well, and they run hard, and yeah, that speed definitely helps with those breakaways. Getting them the whole way. So the worst part is if anybody ever gets ran down. You're like running down the field. You're like, but yeah, they're super fast and very talented, and we're very blessed to have them in the backfield for sure.
This O-line has just seen a lot of shift starting the season with some injuries from fall camp. So how are you guys able to shift so well, and how does Al Johnson get you guys ready for Saturdays?
I think just having us play a lot of positions, and his attention to detail is just awesome. I mean, it'd been a little while since I'd played center, about 2 years since I was coming off the injury, since I really had meaningful reps. And I was coming off a soft tissue deal, so I really had about 10 days to get ready for the first game. And he was just coaching me really hard every day, and I was just taking everything he'd give me. And I think everybody's belief too. Everybody believes we're going to take care of business up front before we even play a game. So I think that helps us just play fast and physical and just dominate the line of scrimmage.
You've had a journey to get to this season. What did this final gold rush mean to you?
It was awesome. I mean, the gold rush is always special. You got all the fans wearing all the gold shirts and the gold jerseys. We only get to wear these once a year. So it was very special, coming out of the locker room and running out and just being able to take it all in before, you really dial it in for the first snaps.
You were slated to be the starting center in fall camp back in 21, and then
Yep.
we know what happened after that. Now you're back at center. Does it kind of feel full circle?
Yeah, it's tricky, like, with the injury deal, and bummer having a perk and really hoping to have him back soon. I know we had a lot of depth to start the year, and maybe we don't have as much depth as we'd hoped, but I think just everybody playing different positions has really helped. I mean, Connor and where Marcus sliding in, and then me moving over, and guys Titan and Cedric have done an awesome job. So I think just everyone's position flexibility and just being ready to play and just stepping up and taking their role and running with it. It's been awesome.
Have you kind of just settle into the snapping part, just some of the things that center requires that guard doesn't?
Yeah, the snapping aspect's definitely one. I've been here for a long time, so all the calls and all that really comes pretty natural to me. But I think just talking with Coach Al on the sidelines and really knowing how they're changing his certain stuff and in-game adjustments, I think that's definitely a big responsibility at center. But Coach Johnson's a great coach, and he's really done well at getting me prepared and making me feel confident out there on the field.
And you mentioned him earlier, but a guy like Marcus, he's gotten a bunch of accolades. I guess what's it like just playing next to him and just like his effect on that O-line?
Yeah, he's awesome. I mean, he works extremely hard. He's a tremendous leader. He just moves people. I mean, when you got a combo with Marcus, because he's moving them off the ball. So he brings great energy, and just his the way he carries himself is very contagious in the room, and I think it bleeds into everybody else on the line, but also a lot of the younger guys. So we're very thankful to have him on the team and what he contributes. Absolutely.
What did you think of the scoreboard, just some of the other new looks around the stadium?
Yeah, it was awesome. My favorite part is being able to see our rushing yards in action. So yeah, because we that's what we look at the most. So we get to see that, and that's very cool. And obviously the sound was amazing, and the picture, I think it really changed a lot and made the atmosphere even that much better than it already is.
The first 3 drives, you guys scored in 6th place, 21 points. It's pretty impressive. How much did that fire you guys up as an offensive line, just scoring that quickly?
Yeah, it's awesome, especially, when a lot of those are big run gashes. It's like, when you make a block and then you hear the crowd, and then our running backs, either Scott Trey or Adam, are 20, 30 yards down and running towards the end zone. It's there's nothing else like it, and you get to run down there and celebrate all your boys. So it's a great feeling. Great feeling.
All good?
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Ready? It's good.
Brody, I guess just getting your first sack of the season. Take us through that play. I guess how'd that feel?
It was good. Starts with a good get off. Got off the ball well, kind of got out in front on the rush, and we had a blitz on, and he tried to escape the pocket, and dang near let him out, but got a hold of him and got him down. So that was a good feeling. Break the ice there with them for me and as the D-line as well as the team as well. So that was a good starting point, I think, and a good way to get our first couple sacks this season, I guess.
Yeah, Hunter, I think, broke the seal. How much were you guys kind of, it's been a lot of topic of conversation the last couple of weeks, just that you haven't had sacks, but the defense has been playing well. So how much were you guys kind of discussing that and that kind of, I don't know, tricky nature of that stat?
Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing because we have been playing so well of defense. And, I think the offensives have kind of been trying to take us out of it a little bit with like the quick game and stuff like that. I felt like I had a pretty good day at Utah Tech and stuff like that, and didn't lose a lot of rushes. But if I don't have time to get home, then I'm not going to get them. But we're playing good team defense, so I'm not going to complain about not getting sacks if we're holding teams to, what was it, 80 yards in the first half or something like that. And Utah Tech, they went 8 series without getting a first down. So
Sack celebration, is that like a lasso kind of situation there, or like what is the sack celebration, I guess?
So I don't know. You probably never heard of Junior Nogueira. He's a healer. He's a team roper. He's a Brazilian guy. He's won the world a couple times. You have to look him up on YouTube. He lays back on his horse. It's pretty cool.
Just playing in a game like that where you guys get out such a fast start, but then there's a bunch of young guys playing in the second half. What's it like just being in a game like that?
As an older guy, it's always good to have guys behind you go up and get some film and be able to get in the game, because you never know when you're going to need those guys. You come to the end of the season, a long, hard Big Sky season, there's going to be guys that get hurt and guys that are going to have to step up. And I think that was a little bit of an eye-opener for some of our 2 and 3 deep, that we need to get them going some more and be able to get out there in the second half and get a better start and be able to get some stops, because that's not a standard that of defense that we're accepting in that second half. So.
When you're on the sidelines, are you primarily watching the defensive line, or are you watching the whole scheme as it unfolds? What are you watching?
I watch a little bit of the whole scheme, but I focus on those D linemen so I can coach them up and stuff like that when they come to the sideline. So that's pretty important to me. I feel like as a guy that they can talk to, and I'm out there, I've seen the same things that they're seeing, be able to walk them through it and coach them up and let them know what they need to do to maybe give them a little bit of an edge where they can get one.
How'd you think they did, the young guys?
They did okay, up and down. That's what young guys do, and I've been through that too. Is you get some good plays, you get some plays where you're messing up, and you just got to clean them up and get a high percentage of good plays when you get your at bats, because getting trust from your coaches is a big deal in these games like this, to where if they feel like they need to put you in a game, they're not going to hesitate.
The offense started super quick, 21 points in the blink of an eye. So how much does that motivate you guys to, get them back the ball and get them a chance to score again?
Yeah, exactly. Our offense was motoring right away, and that's always good to see for us. Like, we just started fast as a whole team, get a 3-and-out or whatever, a couple 3-and-outs, and get them the ball. Some good field position. They go take it to the house. It gets us rolling. If we play like that, we're going to be hard to beat.
Final Gold Rush. What are your overall thoughts?
It's so much fun. Go out there and play in front of the home crowd. I was excited, obviously, during the week, but then just leading up to the game and those doors open, it's just a whole different feeling, and it's pretty cool. I was pretty mad that the refs make the captains like walk out with them before the run out, so you don't get to run out. But so that's kind of annoying. But besides that, it was a pretty good day, and they stayed through the whole third quarter too, so it was pretty loud in there in the third quarter and stuff like that. So appreciate the fans.
What was it like watching that run out with the new scoreboard right above them?
I wasn't looking at the new scoreboard, but I was looking at the student section. It was packed in there today. I don't know if there's too many seats open, so that was pretty cool.
You've talked before about iron sharpening iron. To see this offensive line that you go up against in practice face adversity to start the season, but still be so successful, what is your view on that?
Yeah, I think that's why, like ones-on-ones, we get so much work with that in fall camp and stuff. Not as much in the season, but being able to get those ones-on-ones reps with a O-line that's one of the best in the country, that just makes us better. And honestly, like if I'm going against Marcus every day, I feel like I'm in a good spot coming into the game, that I'm going against somebody that isn't as good as who I go against every single day. So that's a huge deal for us to be able to have our O-line and D-line be pillars on this team. If you look at good teams, college football, NFL, whatever it is, the best teams in the world always have the good O-line and D-line usually.
Seemed like you were getting double teamed a lot. At least just something I noticed. How much do you kind of, go to some of your other guys and be like, look, this is what's happening, and kind of try to scheme against that in game?
Yeah, Coach Howe does a good job of trying to help me out and finding ways to take the doubles off me and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, that's going to happen, and that's part of the process. And just got to get through it and keep working. And those other guys are going to flush the quarterback out, and I gotta be there to collect. So,
How does this right now, 3-0, going into a bye, compare to the start of last year, non-conference last year?
It feels good. It feels like we're rolling a little bit and get a little rest and refresh here and get some film. And this was pretty nice because we actually got to watch them on film for once for this season. So that'll be nice. And then we'll go into the next game and we'll have 2 games to watch. So we'll have a big bye week to get some good work in. And like Grace said, we will get some iron sharpened iron this bye week. We'll go some ones-on-ones and get some good work in, so that'll help us to go forward into Big Sky play.
Oh, good.